All right, today we're tackling a huge topic, original sin. But we're going to look at it from an angle you have probably never considered. Forget the Garden of Eden for a second. We're talking about the Big Bang.
So let's just start with the big question, right? The one people have been asking forever. What's the real source of sin? That feeling of being flawed or imperfect. Is it something we do, a bad choice we make? Or is it something deeper? Well, the source we're looking at today comes from a teacher named Gong, and he says, all the usual answers, they're kind of missing the point. He argues the root of sin has nothing to do with human actions or morality.
Instead, he says it's something that was baked into the universe from the very beginning, tied directly to the Big Bang itself. So yeah, to really get a grip on who we are, we've got to rewind the clock way, way back, before time even existed.
All right, so let's set the stage. Where does this all start? I want you to try and imagine a state of being before anything existed. No matter, no stars, no universe as we think of it.
Okay, so this pre-creation state is called the Great Universe, and it's not empty space, not at all. Think of it more like an infinite ocean of unified energy. Everything is perfectly balanced, perfectly still. This is the source code for everything that will ever be.
So, what's this ocean made of? The source calls it elemental energy. It's the absolute fundamental stuff of existence. And here's the kicker. We, our true selves, our souls, are basically individual drops in this ocean. We're all made of the same non-material energy. And get this is what we originally were. We weren't just energy. We're called gods in this teaching. These non-material beings with, unbelievable power. You could exist inside the sun, no problem. You could expand to the size of a galaxy or shrink down to nothing. We were, for all intents and purposes, part of the fabric of reality itself.
Okay, so if everything was so perfect and unified, what happened? How did we get here? Well, this is where a huge cosmic imbalance enters the picture. And this is the moment that literally set the entire universe in motion. Now, this didn't happen overnight. We're talking about eons and eons of time. A part of that pure, pristine energy started to change. It started to get a bit dense, a little impure. The word used is thickened. It's a great image, right? Like perfectly clear water that slowly, over ages, gets a little murky. And this is the result. Suddenly, the great universe isn't so unified anymore. You've got this major split. 70% stays pure, light, and just stays put. But the other 30%, and this is the important part because that's us, it became this thickened, heavier energy that started to move.
So you see, this imbalance is absolutely key. The 70% of pure energy is the anchor, but that 30%, the part we belong to, it's now different. It's got this weight to it, and because of that, it breaks free from that perfect stillness and starts to drift away.
Now, this wasn't some quiet, gentle separation. Oh no, this movement was the first step toward the most violent and also the most creative event in the history of everything. And yeah, it's an event that our scientists have a very familiar name for. So, how did it happen? The source lays it out in 4 steps. First, you've got the separation. That 30% drifts away. Second, as it moves through the void, it starts picking up incredible speed. Third, some kind of cosmic force starts pulling all of these speeding energies together toward one single point. And you can see where this is going, right? Step 4, a collision on a scale that is just impossible to imagine. And that, right there, is the big idea. The Big Bang wasn't some tiny point exploding out of nowhere. No, in this view, the Big Bang was the sound of trillions upon trillions of these God energies, our souls, our true selves, all smashing into each other at once. The impact was just so powerful, it did something that should be impossible. It shattered something that isn't even physical. It shattered us. Our very essence was broken into fragments, just blown across the brand new material universe that was born from that very collision.
Okay, wow. So what does any of this have to do with us right now, living our lives on Earth? How does this ancient cosmic disaster shape our purpose today? Well, that's the last and maybe most important piece of the puzzle.
So, that massive collision started 2 clocks ticking at the same time. On one hand, you had the material universe doing its thing, forming galaxies, suns, and planets like Earth.
And on the other hand, you had our shattered energy fragments on this incredibly long journey to find each other again, to regroup, and finally, when the time was right, when life evolved to create bodies, human bodies, our slowly reforming souls had a place to go.
And that's how we get back to original sin. You see, in this view, it's not a punishment for something someone did ages ago. It's the fundamental condition of our being. Original sin is the thickness, the impurity that we've carried with us ever since we became part of that 30% that broke away.
So what's the point of being here then? It's not about paying for a mistake. It's about purification. Our entire lives, all the struggles, all the good things we do, all the lessons we learn, it's all part of a process. It's how we refine that thickened energy, how we make it lighter, and how we do our part to fix that ancient cosmic imbalance. And you can really see here just how radically different this is. Original sin isn't about guilt, it's about our cosmic state of being. And maybe even more wild, the whole idea of sinning in our daily lives kind of disappears. Instead, those moments, those challenges, are just lessons. They're opportunities for us to grow and to purify. Yeah, this quote really nails it. We have an original sin, that cosmic condition, but no present-day sin. It completely reframes everything. We're not sinners. We're just beings on a really, really long journey of healing, trying to resolve the state we were born into. So let's leave you with this idea to chew on. If you look at your life through this lens, then every single challenge you face, your job, your family, that argument you had, your own inner doubts, none of it is random. It's all part of your curriculum. It's the universe handing you the exact tools you need to purify that little piece of thickened energy that is you. So the real question becomes, what is the universe trying to help you resolve today?